I've been to the Garden a million times in my life. And for those who aren't New Yorkers, that's what we call Madison Square Garden. I always thought it was a pretty cool looking building, until I found out that long before I was born, there was another building that was in its place. Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This time around, we're going to travel back in time to check out Pennsylvania Station, commonly known as Penn Station, that was a breathtaking architectural marvel in New York City. So, let's begin our journey. Opened in 1910, it was designed by the renowned firm McKim, Mead & White in a grand Beaux-Arts style inspired by classical Roman architecture. The main waiting room measured over 300 feet long, over 100 feet wide, and soared to a height of 150 feet. Flanking it were additional waiting areas for men and women, each 100 by 58 feet, enhancing the station's spacious and elegant design. With massive granite columns and a coffered ceiling bathed in natural light from its enormous skylights. Isn't this incredible? And this space wasn't just a transit hub. It was a cathedral-like experience meant to elevate the soul of every traveler passing through its doors. And it was a cool hangout for New Yorkers. The station occupied an entire city block between 7th and 8th Avenues and 31st and 33rd Streets, with its intricate network of tracks and platforms serving as a testament to human engineering prowess. In the years following Penn Station's opening, Americans increasingly embraced train travel, driving the terminal's rise in prominence. By 1945, ridership peaked, with 100 million passengers crossing its platforms that year. However, the post-World War II years ushered in profound shifts. And so by 1960, the advent of budget-friendly flights and the car's growing reign marked the beginning of the railroad's decline, causing Penn Station's passenger numbers to plummet. And as time wore on, the terminal's overseers grew uneasy, sensing that this wasn't merely a temporary trend, but perhaps a harbinger of the train's dismal prospects. Taking action, they brokered a terrible agreement. They sold the air rights above Penn Station. And so in 1962, a plan was revealed to demolish the station, making way for Madison Square Garden, a new entertainment complex, while reimagining the terminal beneath the surface. And so over 3 years, the magnificent edifice was systematically torn down, its pink granite, marble floors, and steel framework reduced to rubble. Workers and wrecking crews dismantled the station piece by piece, with little regard for its historical or aesthetic value. Photographs from the era show the gutted interiors and shattered remnants, a stark contrast to the station's former glory. The destruction sparked outrage among preservationists and New Yorkers, but it was too late. By 1966, the incredible, original Penn Station was gone forever. What replaced it was a utilitarian and rather depressing subterranean complex beneath Madison Square Garden, the circular arena that opened in 1968. The new Penn Station is a cramped, dimly lit maze of low ceilings and concrete corridors. It freaking sucks, that I can tell you, and is a far cry from the soaring elegance of its predecessor. Madison Square Garden itself, while a functional entertainment venue, lacks the architectural distinction or cultural resonance of the original station. The tracks and platforms remain underground, but the experience of arriving in New York, once a moment of grandeur, became a disorienting shuffle through a bleak, overcrowded basement. This transformation prioritized profit and practicality over beauty and heritage, a choice that many still lament, myself included, which of course you probably already know. The New York Times editorial board described the demolition of the original station as a, quote, monumental act of vandalism, end quote, and its destruction galvanized the modern historic preservation movement. The loss of Penn Station is considered a profound cultural tragedy because it erased a piece of New York's identity and a shared public space that embodied artistic, architectural, and historical significance. It wasn't just a building, it was a symbol of the city's ambition and a democratic space where people of all walks of life could encounter awe-inspiring design. Its demolition galvanized the historic preservation movement, leading to the creation of the New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission. But that victory came at the cost of an irreplaceable treasure. The event underscored a broader societal shift toward disposable culture, where economic gain often takes precedence over legacy. Places of beauty, like the original Penn Station, matter because they inspire, connect, and remind us all of our capacity for greatness. They offer a respite from the mundane, fostering a sense of pride and belonging. Beautiful spaces elevate human experience, encouraging reflection and creativity in ways that sterile, functional designs cannot. The loss of Penn Station serves as a haunting reminder that when we sacrifice beauty for expediency, we diminish not just our surroundings, but our collective spirit. A deep wound still felt in the uninspired corridors that now bear its name. So, what do you think of the loss of the original Penn Station? Do you think that public spaces, such as train stations, should be beautiful places? Or should they simply be functional, with no concern at all for the psychological effect, positive or negative, that it can have on people passing through them? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings, and please do not harm them. And do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.